Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode, a special edition episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And what's going on?
Just another day in La La Land.
It basically is. Yes, my land, my world.
No, Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Los Angeles, California.
No. I don't live in your world. I am not a figment of your imagination, despite what you believe.
You still doing the rugs?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still there. It went from doing rugs to now doing a complete remodel, basically. There are changes afoot.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, please.
Folks, we got a very special edition, a very special episode here for you this week. News that really deserves its own episode, and we're giving it to it, and we're gonna just get right into it right now. Over the past weekend, which thought was gonna be exclusive at New York Comic Con, but Nintendo gave it its own Nintendo Direct, to a point where I had to take my break a little later in the day during work to go watch it. We got our first teaser trailer of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
You had to take a later break. I had to start a meeting by telling the other people in the meeting that we were not going to start until the Nintendo Direct is over, and we share screened the Nintendo Direct in the first 15 minutes of the meeting.
See, that's awesome, but I was still working in office. I can't get away with that.
Oh no, so. It doesn't. Right, exactly. It's like we just had to. We're sorry. We have to watch this.
What, 1993 to now? How long is that? You do the math.
It'll be 20 years when the Mario movie finally comes out in April.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it will be 20 years.
It'll be 20.
And,
I'm sorry. Wait.
No, 30.
Math, 30.
30. Don't blame that one on me, folks.
I'm sleeping. It'll be 30 years. And also just to add, we didn't just get a trailer last week. We got the promotional poster as well.
Oh, yes. We got stuff, definitely. Yes. We got the poster, we got the trailer, and trust me, as much as I love, for all the bad reasons, the live action Super Mario Brothers, what we're about to talk about today is probably the greatest thing I've ever watched in my life.
Is that a euphemism, or you actually mean that?
No. I mean, if I had a child, that would probably be third in my list.
Oh wow!
Of amazing things I probably would have witnessed.
Okay, so what's 1 and 2? We have this one, right?
I'm juggling 1 and 2, though. I think this is going to be 1, and 2 is just being. I can't think of 2.
Okay, there you go.
So
so basically what you're telling everybody is that we need to get you more life experiences.
I don't have a child. So
no, I know. We just need to get you more life experiences.
No, totally. There's too much stuff running through my head. That's how much it is. Mm-hmm. And we drop before we get to the poster, because I just want to get right into it. The trailer, the teaser trailer of Super Mario Brothers dropped, introduced during the Nintendo Direct by Mr. Miyamoto himself,
yes.
And the guy at Illuminations. I don't remember his name. And
his name is Chris Meledandri.
Thank you very much. And I words truly cannot describe how I feel about this trailer. Before I get into it, I just want to hear your thoughts about it. Because you are so hard to please at times that I'm dying to know.
Me?
You're cynical.
Me?
And
really? Come on.
Just
because the first movie was the Virtual Boy of movies doesn't mean that I'm hard to please.
You're right. It's amazing to love that stepchild. But I do want to hear from you, because this is something that from a game, an icon, an IP that we love and we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on the Super Mario Brothers trailer, the movie. Okay.
It was good.
That's the most you're gonna get out of him, folks.
No, I won't lie. I thought it was great. I was very happy with it. I got goosebumps.
Okay.
I did get goosebumps at one point in the trailer, because again, look, this is something we've been waiting for our whole lives, because the movie in '93 doesn't count because it was trash. But I have to say, from what little they showed, And it wasn't even short. Like for a teaser, it was a pretty decent length
It
for a
what
teaser.
minute and a half, maybe
About a minute and a half. It was
Yeah.
about a minute and a half. I will say that I got more out of it than I expected to.
Okay.
I actually thought they were going to show less. I thought it was going to be like one of those real quick things, and everybody
Like
going
a
to be like, "What?
real
That's it?"
teaser. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like a
30
30
seconds.
second,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "What? That's it?"
Yep.
So no, so I enjoyed how much they showed, and I enjoyed what they showed. Like they painted. I feel like well, first off, visually stunning, absolutely visually
Yes.
stunning. Like animation was definitely the way to go for a Mario movie, no question about that. And I just think from the look of it overall, like they nailed it.
Very. I mean, it's Illuminations is doing it, and
Yeah.
I just watched Minions: Rise of Gru, which I
Oh, okay.
loved. But like
That airplane scene still gets me.
yes, it does. But like the two to me that nowadays the two heavy hitter animation studios are going to be Pixar. Pixar's still around, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yes, yeah,
part of Disney, Pixar. Yeah.
yeah. So Pixar specifically and Illuminations.
Mm.
And to me,
Illumination, no S. It's singular.
you know what? I always say Illuminations. You're right.
You do.
It's like Berenstein and Berenstein
Yes.
or Berenstain.
Bernstein,
Um,
yeah. Mhm.
so with Illumination, and I'm not just saying this, I genuinely enjoy not only the stories but the animation that is in Illumination movies. So yeah, they nailed from a visual standpoint, 100% nailed.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like the movements were like just the if you're looking closely, which I always tend to do, especially in animation, like
Mhm.
the character movements, like very fluid, very realistic. There's a style. There's definitely a stylization to it. Like
Yes.
watching it, it's like they're definitely not exactly the video game characters. Like the way we see the video game characters in 3D Mario games, they're not exactly that, but they're close enough, and they've been kind of tweaked to make them more realistic. And what I say by that is that when you play a video game, characters don't have to they have, for the most part, it's like these types of characters have to be anthropomorphic so they move around. But in a video game, they don't have to be exactly like a human
Okay,
body
I see
to
what
move
you're talking about.
around. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep, yep.
you can cut in places. And
Yeah.
I think what at least what the trailer showed with like Bowser, Mario, and everything like that is like they didn't have to change the characters that much to get that realistic movement out of them. So they're still maintaining their like overall general features. Like they were like when I was watching it, there was nothing that I saw really that stood out to me that said that looks really weird or bad about the look of the character.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, look wise, and I've said this since I feel like Detective Pikachu was the blueprint to the point where before Detective Pikachu, when you had especially animated movies based on video games, like just liberties were taken, where like they had to change the character to make it look uber realistic, or they just went in a completely different direction. Where Detective Pikachu showed that you can pull those characters, the Pokemon, straight out of the video game and just add fur. Don't change anything else.
Yep.
And it works. It worked for that. Don't even get me started on Sonic. I mean, that was a whole different ball game. And look, again, it basically, again, like you said, Ant, some tweaks, which is understandable, but the Sonic we got, which is basically straight out of the video game, versus whatever that CrossFit Sonic was going to be.
Yes.
Again, makes it show that it works.
Yeah.
Visually, well, first of all, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right now, and I have no problem admitting this.
Uh-oh.
I can stand here as a red-blooded American male saying I cried a little bit watching this trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
I did.
You need more life experience.
No, that's why I cried though, because all my life I've been waiting for this. Yes, again, we're gonna go back. We're always gonna compare this to the live action movie. It is what it is.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
It is what
I'm
it
telling
is.
you. I'm telling you right now. The 90 seconds that I saw last week is better than the entire movie from '93.
True. And I haven't even seen a Goomba yet.
That's it. That's it. I'm not even going there.
Unless there's 6 foot tall Goombas in this cartoon movie.
Oh, jeez.
But no, I literally, I mean, it wasn't like gushing tears, but I welled up. And from the start of that trailer to the end of the trailer, I had a grin that could not be power washed off my face. I was so happy. The 10-year-old.
Did you try to power wash it off your face? Because I would like to try that now that you brought it up. Like we can do that on like a future episode.
Well, I've already seen the trailer like 10 times already, so I'm starting to get used to it.
Oh, okay.
It just bottom line, I was so happy to see this. A, because it's finally here.
Mm-hmm.
B, because as soon as, so let's kind of going to get into the trailer. You know, you get this opening shot of this, you know, this cold, the cold, snowy world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with you know, lava bowls being thrown to the ground, and all of a sudden you see the Koopa head. You know what I mean? Like that Bowser stone head lands. And then you see Malik come out, and again, right out of the game. Kamek, excuse me. I always say Malik. Kamek, right out of the game. The Koopa Troopers are there. And then when you see Bowser, King Koopa, walk out for the first time. Now, we're not even getting into the voices yet, because, we're going to talk about the voices.
Yes,
but just visually seeing Bowser the way he was, and he was not Dennis Hopper. He looked phenomenal in this movie. He looks like the Bowser we know.
Yeah.
And
huge, imposing.
Yes.
Just menacing. Like he had the look is incredible.
They didn't make him try and look lizardly, like, you know, more like a lizard or something. No, he looked like Bowser from Super Mario 64. And then we hear the voice. You know, Jack Black playing Bowser, you know, open the gates. Now, before he spoke, trust me, I've been trying to think what everyone's voices are going to sound like. Mm-hmm. And, you know, for me, and we've talked about this in a past episode, probably when the first announcement of the movie. Mm-hmm. I would pay to watch an hour and a half, at least, of Charles Martinet playing Mario with that voice. Mm-hmm. But we know things are what they are. But Jack Black, I think, nailed his version of Bowser.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's such a challenge for anybody to have to show up and give a character with the legacy of, you know, Bowser, a voice when he's never had one. And I think that's one of the most challenging things you get. I mean, granted, there have been some random
the cartoons, the couple of cartoons,
the cartoons. He had a voice and stuff like that. But I'm talking about we're talking about a real feature, like the video games. Bowser doesn't.
No, he doesn't talk. No,
he doesn't talk. So I'm really basing it off of that. I'm not really basing it off.
No, I know what you're talking about,
because we can base Mario off of that as well. I'm not thinking that way. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking more along the lines of like in the video games, these guys don't have a voice. So these actors are basically responsible for giving some of these characters their first real voice ever. And it wasn't what I was expecting. It was actually better than what I was expecting.
Yes.
And that's what I loved about it. Like I was like, they're really going like really hard with it. I thought it was going to be a bit more mellow. And I thought it would be mellow. Like calmer. And I also, there was a part of me that also thought, oh, it's Jack Black. Is it going to be comical?
Exactly.
It's like big menacing Bowser, and then all of a sudden he just has like this funny line, or like
open the gate, Scooby Doo doo doo, whatever he does.
Not definitely not that.
But that's what he does.
Right, but no. I just thought it would have been. I thought it would have been that.
Yes.
I thought it would have been that like kind of reverse play where it's like big menacing guy, maybe a small squeaky voice, or just something a little.
You're a dead man, Ramsey.
Yeah, like something a little more comedic. So like when but when you hear him say that line, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So yes, so yes, Jack
And
Black nailed it. No
totally,
question.
totally. And you know, and then of course the penguins,
Yep.
which are basically from Super Mario 64, of course. Great. And now at this point you got the music playing. Trust me, at this point it's still very like menacing, like the way
Yeah.
it's being played out right now. Like I'm not saying scary, but definitely
Yeah.
Bowser's he's overbearing. You got the penguins who are ready to fight to the end for their to keep their land, and then the penguins just start firing snowballs, and then that's when it pulls back, and then that's when you get like your first
Yes.
real comedic illumination style to me,
Mhm.
of just Bowser just standing there with no effect whatsoever with these snowballs, and then they bring in the launcher, which I thought was
Yes.
hysterical, which takes out one of the Koopas. And then that's where you got your feel already of the movie.
Yeah.
So that part looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
It does. And just really quickly,
Yeah,
also
yeah,
because
yeah.
you skipped over it, the entrance of the like Bowser's ship, basically. I know you talked about it really briefly, but like when you look at that, like if you really take a
It was like a
look at that,
land almost, like a floating land.
it
Yeah.
looks like the floating land from I think Super Mario 3D World when you get to Bowser's Land. It kind of looks like that with all the lava on either side, and then I think there was a door at the top, like where I guess where the castle
Probably like
would
where
have
his
been.
castle is. Yeah.
Yeah, so just looking at that, it's like they made they made like an entire land like his ship, which I thought
So
was really cool.
totally,
Or at
totally.
least that's what it looks like.
No. You're right. So I'll come back to it later, but between the trailer and the poster, I'm getting heavy. Now there was no whatsoever storyline. I mean, obviously you gotta assume Peach is kidnapped. Mario has to save her. You know
The
what I mean? That's
traditional story.
the traditional story. It does break up where Bowser finds the star actually,
Yeah.
and he says, now it's mine. Who's going to take it from me? So I guess the star also plays something very big in the movie, but no major plot. However, the trailer and the poster, which we'll get into, is giving me heavy Super Mario 3D World vibes. Heavy
Okay.
Super Mario 3D World vibes. Now, I don't know if it's based on that or they just happen to use that for, because that's like a real good modern 3D game as opposed to pixelated. So we'll see. But you're right. That ship, that land it looked beautiful.
Yeah, I hope I hope they do Mario 3D World because I want to see Cat Mario.
I'm sure you'll get something like that. I'm curious
No.
how the power ups. That's a little upsetting though to me because if Bowser was looking for the star and he found the star, then like that means I don't want to. It's hard to talk about what you expect to see in the movie because I don't want to come off as spoke because we know nothing.
Nope.
I know nothing again.
Zero.
So like I'm only putting in my head how things are going to play out in the movie. So I guess I'll leave that at that. I don't want to, just in case. But nevertheless, Bowser, Jack Black, nailing it. Then we cut, after he says, "Who's gonna stop me?" Then that's when we hear that iconic, din it, and then you just hear the sound, the warp sound, and then cut to the end of Sonic Movie 1 in Mushroom World.
Yes, basically.
And out shoots Mario, our first view of Mario. And, with Mario, we have Mario now on the big screen in cartoon form with his cherub little face. And here, and because you made a point before, and I'm curious your take on this. I know you said that, they kind of were given animation wise, like they all have their little tweaks to them. The only one I saw tweaked a little bit would be Mario, and it was in his face. And again, I'm sure that's just to give it gives an illumination their fingerprint in the movie, which is fine. And B, probably just will fit along with Chris Pratt because you kind of want the voice and the character to sync up a little bit, which I get.
I don't know if I agree with that.
In a way, at least in this, if he's supposed to be playing a human. Mario's a human. So, but how do you feel about how Mario looks? Again, we're not at voices yet. Just
No,
his
no, no,
look.
no, no. I think that's what I was talking about earlier when I said looks. Like I don't think like I mean of the two real characters we saw really three characters here, right? But
Yeah.
of the three characters that were introduced in this teaser, Mario is the one who does look different. I was like, but I don't think he looks different to the point where it's like gonna bother me. You know what I mean?
No,
It's like
no.
it's not like yeah. I mean, what is his face a little bit different? Yes, I think so. I don't know about I'll be honest with you. The rest of the body, I didn't really notice much. Maybe he's not as portly as he is, and
He
he's
might
not.
be a little slim. I hope
Yeah,
so.
he might be a little slimmer, you know, a little doing a little parkour, CrossFit. I know we'll talk about that when we get to
He's definitely not
Buttgate.
doing squats.
We'll do that when we get to Buttgate for the poster. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, there. You know what was funny? Like, I don't know why I fixated on this when I was watching the trailer, but I was watching his ears for some reason, just
I didn't
because.
even notice his ears.
And see, and I noticed his ears because I'm like, because I was looking for things that didn't change. And I was like, okay. I was like, so then I looked at so I was watching him and I'm like, oh, I was like, and it was cool to me. I was just like, oh, his ears are the same. Like they looked
Okay.
exactly the same. And I'm like, oh, cool. I was like, they kept his ears. But yeah, the face looks a little slimmer. I think maybe his body may be a little slimmer, but outside of that, it's like, I didn't really see much of a difference.
Again, and I say this in a good way.
And nothing major.
No complaints whatsoever. I'm just saying Mario to that point in the trailer, to me, everything looked Nintendo. Okay, here, and again, I say this in a good way. All right, here's Illumination, again, putting their stamp. All right, you know, this isn't like Nintendo doing it in-house. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. And because I think of the characters, you can get away with playing around with Mario because, again, he's the human in the story.
Yes.
Well, one of a few.
Yeah.
Is Peach a human? I guess she is, yeah. Yeah, but I didn't have a problem with the way he looks at all. In fact, he looks fine by me. I was definitely expecting some sort of difference.
Yeah.
And he has a little bit of a slight, very small Chris Pratt to him. I guess either that or just because I have it in my head that Chris Pratt is playing him.
It might be in your head.
It might be. But let's speak about that because then we see Toad,
who looks exactly like Toad.
You can't go. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with that. I forgot who's playing Toad.
Is that Keegan Michael Key?
I don't remember.
I believe it's Keegan Michael Key.
As if we can have something to pull that up to check.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna do right now. But you know, I mean, Toad's Toad. Looks like to me they got Toad dressed up like Captain Toadstool from Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, he looks like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker
totally.
For sure because he's got like the backpack and all the items on his back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we start to hear Chris Pratt. Now, since the lineup was announced, this was the biggest concern out of everybody, was how is Chris Pratt going to sound as Mario? Now, we got all of 10 words out of him.
About.
Nothing to truly get that full sense, in my opinion. You gotta wait for the first full trailer.
Yeah.
But right out of the box, right out of the question blocks.
Yes, right out of the question mark box.
I'm good to go with this. Look, I've gone through 3 or 4 different Marios. In fact, we put a meme up a little earlier from when we recorded. You know, there was a picture of the movie Mario. It's like, you know, I want my original Mario. Then Bob Hoskins, like, I want my original. And then it was Captain Lou Albano. It's like, thank you. So, to me, actually, let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Would you be able to separate video game Mario versus animation Mario? Meaning, there's been so many incarnations of a Mario cartoon over the years from when we were growing up with Captain Lou playing the first one.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I can separate, especially now.
Yeah.
I realize I can separate like animated Mario versus video game Mario.
Yeah, no. To me, it's night and day.
So, you know, yes, to me, animated, trust me, Captain Lou will be my Mario forever and ever. But I think Pratt, from the little that we heard, I think he's going to do just fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I guess obviously, the biggest gripe that a lot of people have is that it's not Charles Martinet. All right, that's the biggest gripe because
True.
we all know Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario from the video games,
From the video games, yes.
right? Which again, and I agree with that. When I think of Mario in the video games, I will always think of Charles Martinet.
Hmm.
But because this is a feature film, and it's gonna require just it's just a different setup. You're talking about a Mario performance lasting over 90 minutes, right? Or however long the movie is going to
Yeah.
be.
I'm assuming an hour and a half.
Yeah,
It's a cartoon.
it's completely different from just a few phrases. So it's a lot more demanding. And again, and I'm not saying Charles Martinet can't do it. I mean, he's a voice actor, right? He should be,
Yeah,
he should
no,
be
of course.
capable of doing it.
Yeah.
But it's just a different route. And this is more of a general comment, I think, not just about the Mario movie, but just a general comment for animation films now,
Okay.
today in 2022. We are way past the time when animated films had a separate voice cast in Hollywood where you didn't know who they were, right? A bunch of names that just did the voices. Like, if you go back to the 90s, like Disney's high marks in the 90s when they did like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, most of those voices, you had no idea who they were.
True.
None.
Because the idea was the character was the character.
The character, right? The character was the character, and that was it. I go, but that has changed. That has changed over the years. A-list actors are voicing animated characters all the time now.
It's like game show hosts.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like game show hosts.
All
Game
these
show hosts
A-listers.
now. Yeah, well, no, game show hosts now are all of a sudden all of these people who had sitcoms before,
Basically, yeah.
or stand-up comedians
Yeah.
that. So it's the same thing here. It's like, so it doesn't bother me that Chris Pratt is playing Mario, because if it wasn't Chris Pratt, pick another A-list actor today who's hot. That it would have been that person.
True.
I don't think it ever would have been Charles Martinet, no matter how much we would want that, or people would want that. And and like I said, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it.
Oh no, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Also, like I said, if they redid it and Charles was the voice, you can still take all my money. Side note: Keegan Michael Key is Toad. So
Yeah,
Keegan Michael
that's
Key
what I
is Toad. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so we get, first we get kind of like, where am I, or what is this place, or whatever he said. But then, when he said, let's go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
I hate Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. I say I watched it 10 times. So, again, you hear, it's definitely not a stereotypical Italian voice, but I could say it's a stereotypical Brooklyn old man New York City voice.
Yeah,
which I like.
I think they went the Brooklyn voice route instead of the Italian route. I think that, I thought that kind of was clear in the voice.
Which again works. He's from Brooklyn. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but everyone, again, with the uproar, they're like, oh, it sounds too much like Chris Pratt. Oh, it sounds too much like this. Give us Charles Martinet. Again, we only had 10 words. Let's wait. Let's see, when the full trailer comes out as far as voices. But again, so far, so amazing.
Yeah, so far so good. Looking forward to the next trailer whenever that drops.
And then let's talk about the end of this teaser trailer, though.
Oh,
because
yes.
then we see without a voice, but we know it's I closed my screen.
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day is going to play Luigi. Luigi running from a bunch of dry bones.
Yep.
So, is that like a hark to Luigi's Castle? Luigi's Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hark into the castles in Super Mario Brothers 3? So, again,
because he does run through a set of doors.
He does. Again, it's they went to the well and they're using what's in the well as far as what they're going to show on screen. So
yeah, I don't think fans of the games, at least, like from the look of what they showed in the teasers, like, because they're using what we already know, I don't think I'd like to think that they're going to do that all the way throughout. So
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. So bottom line, what do you give this trailer? Like, if you were able to rate it 1 to 5 mushrooms, how many mushrooms would you give?
How many shrooms do I want to be on right now?
Or better yet, you personally, like, on a 1 to 5, like, how happy are you to see this?
For this?
Yeah.
I'm a 4.
Okay, fair enough.
I am a 4. Like I think really solid out of the gate. Definitely, definitely created intrigue. Definitely created interest, and it
Hmm.
got me excited. So I don't think they could have done much more,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, not perfect. Like it's hard to give a 5. Like a 5 to me would have been like I jumped out of my seat, which I did not do.
So,
Um,
so my 7 rating, you're not going to agree with on a
you give it a
scale of 1 to
7.
5? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're giving it like a 700.
I cannot explain how I felt
Mhm.
watching this. You have no idea how I felt watching this trailer. This is the first trailer. You know when you watch something on YouTube, right, and you get
Mhm.
the ads that come up,
Yes.
and sometimes you get like a 2 minute, sometimes you get like an hour and a half ad, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's like a 2 minute ad or something, and you can tell what it is.
Hmm.
Well, I was watching something, and the ad was the trailer. This is the first time I've never skipped an ad on YouTube.
Nice.
To watch this. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I gotta admit, well, look at me. I'm like me in a candy store. Like I am just overwhelmed and just so happy that this is gonna come out. It really is hard to explain my feelings other than just I can't freaking wait.
Hmm. Nope, and that's
So
fair. So I think, and you know what? You don't have to wait that long. It's about 6 months away.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
Boy, WrestleMania and Super Mario Brothers the movie all in 1 week. What am I gonna do?
All right. Well,
So
I'll tell you what to do because you can very easily skip one of those.
well, I know. So the trailer is what it is. Now it's in our back pocket. It's been debuted. Let's look at the beautiful. I got to order myself one of these. Beautiful poster that came out just a few days prior
Hmm.
to the trailer. Which minutes after it dropped already started causing controversy. But
Hmm.
let's talk about this because there's a lot going on in this poster.
Yeah. To be honest with you, like I think I would almost argue that the poster might have given away potentially more information than the trailer did.
It probably did. It should. And
If you're
this,
looking at it carefully enough.
so if you're looking at the poster now, this is where I first got the very heavy feel of Super Mario 3D Land.
Hmm.
I mean, just right off the bat. And folks, if you're looking, if you're listening to the podcast, or if you're even watching, I don't know if we're going to superimpose this. Just go take a look at the poster while you're listening here. Everything from along the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just screams at me 3D Land. The way the pipes go up, the way it's very vertical, actually, because 3D World, not 3D Land, but 3D World does tend to be very vertical.
Yes. Yes, it does.
And some of the with the floating islands with those, you see the red and the blue walls, if you will, which also kind of a little bit also with Odyssey, just a tad, just a little bit, but not
Yeah,
too
I don't
much.
think I have a feeling. Yeah, they're not going the Odyssey.
No,
That's
no, but I'm
fantastic.
just saying. So that right off the bat, from what your eye catches. Now,
Mhm.
God help me, what's deep inside here, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in here. So
So let's get right to it.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, like the first thing that I noticed when I looked at it, no question about it, is well, first off, the detail is insane.
Yes.
Right? There's just a lot going on. The first thing that caught my eye immediately was the antique shop on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the antique shop was like obviously you see the character, Mario is front and center, right? Your eye is automatically going to go there. But me being me, I like to go around,
Which I did eventually.
I work my way
Yep.
around. And the antique shop, if you just look at the antique shop, you've got a ton of stuff sitting there to look at already. I don't know how much you zoomed in on it, but
I'm doing it right now.
There's the barrel from Donkey Kong hanging right there over by the green mushroom. There's a P switch there. There's a music box there. If you look behind that, there's an egg. There's a green spotted egg.
Oh, Luigi's egg, yeah, in a cage or in a box of some sort, yeah.
Well, is that Yoshi?
Maybe, maybe not.
Might be Yoshi. Don't know. And then if you look there's like a couple of bins or barrels with some stuff in there, which look interesting. One of them almost looks like a flat key.
And that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's kind of green.
It's like greenish. It might be a flat key. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But yeah, like that was where I went to immediately. I went straight to the antique shop because I'm like, what secrets are in there? And there's a lot
Mhm.
to look at right there.
No, no, definitely. You get the then even beyond that is kind of a bakery shop, which you almost
Oh, with the
harkens like
pie.
yep,
Mhm.
Yoshi's Cookie, that video game.
Yep.
Um, of course, right up front with Flat Booty Mario.
Yes.
Do we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about Buttgate. I'm calling it Buttgate.
So like what 15? Not even 15 minutes after this thing dropped, everyone's going, "Where's the junk in the trunk?"
Hmm.
Uh,
Mario,
you know,
this Mario is junkless.
they compared him. I don't know what kind of toad it was, but and no pun intended for toad, but
Oh
there's
yeah, I
like a
saw that.
toad that has like that weird flat booty.
Yes.
And yeah, you would think with all those jumps, Mario would have something going on in his Oshkoshes.
No,
So
well, remember this is his first adventure. Maybe he just
this is
hasn't
true.
he hasn't built the butt.
This is very true.
By
But
the end
deep.
by the end of the movie, you're gonna see him walking
Oh my
around with like
gosh, it'd be
all
like
that jumping. Ooh.
Arnold will come in and start voicing him. Very detailed though with the character, all the seams and everything. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
Very nice. Toad. Again, Captain Toadstool.
Yep.
You're taking a look at.
Yep. Mr. Treasure Tracker himself. He's got his compass. He's got his lantern. He's got the pouch.
It's a little hard to tell because as I zoom in, it gets a little grainy. But he's got like three patches on his backpack,
Yeah.
and one of them. Now I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. The middle one kind of looks like a carrot, which to
Oh,
me
interesting.
is a throwback to Super Mario Land 2 on Game Boy, the six
Uh,
golden coins, where when you grab the a carrot, you turn into Rabbit Mario. So
oh, see,
maybe,
I've never played that, so I don't know.
yeah.
Yep.
So very interesting.
Yep.
What else? What else? Did anything else in the meantime pop out to you?
Well, yeah, you've got on the right side there, you've definitely got a lot of different toads, right? They're all wearing different
Yes.
hats, which is cool.
Yep.
You got the one toad there with the pink dots carrying looks like he bought himself a
Oh,
cheap
Cheap
cheap.
Cheap.
Yeah, he bought himself a
Yes.
cheap cheap.
In the bag.
And then right behind him, it looks like there's maybe the cheap cheap shop. There's like a fish shop,
Yes.
and you see the red cheap cheap, and then I don't remember what the purple one is called. To
That
the
was
right, there's the purple one with
wasn't
the
it the bigger
spikes.
one in Super Mario Bros. 3 that would try Big Bertha, wasn't it?
Was it Big Bertha? Okay.
No, you know what? Maybe Big Bertha looked
I
a
don't.
little different. So
Yeah, so I don't know exactly, but that one's there if you look
yep.
carefully enough. And then the what are those little guys called? The red, yellow, blue guys?
I always forget, but they're out of 3D World.
Yeah, bitty bitties.
It's something like I don't
Yeah,
remember. I
something
honestly
like
don't
bitty
remember.
bitties or bitty baddies or whatever. But yeah, like my eye automatically went to everything like right in the front there because obviously those are the things they wanted you to see, right?
Hmm.
And also if you look on the sign in the back with the cheap cheap,
Oh,
there
Cheap
look
Cheap. Let me go back over there. Yeah.
yeah, go to the cheap cheap. You can also
Yeah.
see on the blue part of the sign. I think that's a blooper.
Yes, that might be their version of a blooper. No,
Yeah.
no. You know
Or is
what?
it something
Those
else?
those were in what game was it? 3 or World?
I don't know.
Maybe it was World that was in. But there might. I'm sure we'll see a blooper at some point.
If
But
we
no,
go
those
underwater, I'm
jellyfish.
pretty sure we will.
The jellyfish, I think, were in a different game, like strictly different from a
Okay.
blooper. Because
Okay.
the way a lot of these characters are, again, I feel like they're not going to take liberties with anything as far
Yep.
as character wise.
Yep.
Fun note: the wooden antique,
Sign.
antiques
Yeah.
sign. Did you see that one?
Yeah,
Very
it's a hammer.
exactly, very
Yeah.
reminiscent of the hammer from Donkey Kong, who's
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yes, we know who
Seth
that he
Rogen.
is. Yep, Seth Rogen's playing Donkey Kong. And then also on the right side, the shop sign is the
Yes.
treasure chest.
So that, yep,
Yeah, so the item block.
from Super
And
Mario Bros. 3.
that's straight out of Super Mario Brothers 3.
So again, and you zoom in more. I mean, there's toads all over the place.
There
I'm just trying
are.
to think of things that I remember seeing specifically when I was looking in the backgrounds, but I don't think I got too. I'm trying. It's hard to look at the floating islands a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
up top.
yeah, which kind of give me a Super Mario 64 feel a little bit. Well, no, heavy 3D world, but
No,
also
to me, yeah, that reminds me of 3D World a lot.
But some of them remind me of Super Mario World. I
Mm,
mean, 64 when you had to
yeah.
shoot yourself to the thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah, true, 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 true.
I do see a couple of platforms from Super Mario Brothers One all the way in the back.
Talking about the right or the left?
Oh, I'm sorry. To the right, I'm so zoomed in. I'm sorry. To the right, if you look at to the right near the
Towards
way,
that blue world, that little
yeah,
blue
the
platform.
top blue world where you see
Yeah,
some platforms going down, and you see a row of coins actually right above it. What looks
yeah,
like the falling platforms in Super Mario Brothers One.
yeah. I do
So
see
that looks
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks
Um,
really cool.
what else? What else?
If you go up to the top, you'll see there's a flying question mark box.
Yes, I've seen those.
Yep.
And I've seen a couple of toads either hanging from them or trying to punch them. But I do see the flying one as well that you're talking
Yep.
about. If you look to the left of that, the highest floating island, the one that's kind of right underneath the Nintendo logo.
The one right underneath it. Yes, the big one.
Yep, you get right out of Super Mario 64. You got the blue cannon
Oh yeah,
right
I
there.
didn't see that. I
Yep,
didn't notice that. So
which
yeah,
shoots
you're
you
right
over.
about shooting him. So then I wonder if he's gonna get the the wing cap of some kind, like something that allows him
It
to
is
fly.
it is curious what power ups he's gonna have. And then we look at Peach's castle, which just again straight out. You can
Just
see
yeah.
you see the stained glass window with
Mm-hmm.
her on it and everything. We still haven't seen her yet, let alone
Yep.
hear her yet. And of course that's right at the top. So I mean, I don't know if there's
Yep.
anything else maybe that's hidden
Well,
here.
I'm sure there's a bunch in here. Like you can see, like even like towards the middle, like all the different colored pipes.
Yes.
You see a lot
Yep.
of
Yep.
different colored pipes. So they're definitely leaning heavily on the whole pipe aspect
Mm-hmm.
of the game. So
Mm-hmm.
from the game, I should say. And then somewhere in the middle, there are more blocks that you can see. I'm curious as to how like these toads get around Mushroom Kingdom with all this stuff going on. You know, it's like I'm
And the
assuming
tiny little legs.
the pipe system is like their metro, basically.
Probably. I see something here out of Sunshine, kind of, sort of. If you look at the to the left, excuse me, to the right, the
Mhm.
first green hill, it's got the red floating blocks in front of it.
Yes.
If you look kind of middle, but a little bit to the left, you see an M kind of
Oh,
right in there, which is a little reminiscent of, to me, Super Mario Sunshine.
yeah,
Granted,
because
that was more
you used to
paint.
reveal those, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So you got those.
You got there's a lot of falling water off of places, off of floating islands, which is cool. There's really a lot to look at. Like if you had like a really good high resolution version of this,
which I don't.
you can really no. I'm just saying like you can really dissect this thing.
Nah, totally. Again, curious how Donkey Kong's gonna play into this, especially because they got Seth Rogen for him.
Yeah, I don't see.
Um,
Well, I don't. Again, I definitely do not see any indication in the
not
poster.
right now.
And
At least that
I
we're
want to
missing.
say the one there's a like it's so faint you probably can't even see it, but it almost looks like one of the floating worlds on the left side might have a flag,
That's what I've
and a
been looking
flagpole.
for. I've been
Yeah,
looking for.
it's it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You
think.
see it? It's very faint. I don't know if it is. Again,
That
I need a
might
higher res.
that
I need
might
a
be a
higher res
warp.
poster.
I mean a pipe. That might be a pipe.
Oh,
But I know what you're
could be a
talking
pipe.
about.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much in
There
here.
is. So
It's so
and we can
much
go.
super colorful. It really has yeah, I mean, this is so just intriguing. It really is. Like you can spend hours on this thing.
I have.
Yeah. So
Zoom out. Come on. So yeah. So this is basically this is it, folks. We got it. We got the poster. We got the movie. Drops April 7th in theaters. Looks like it's going to be in 3D. There's
is
the
it?
real 3D logo on the bottom of the poster,
Oh,
or the
okay.
real D logo, whatever
Real
it
D.
is.
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
pass on the 3D.
I'll see this. Usually animated does better in 3D. So
Yeah,
I'll give it a
I'm
shot.
good. I'm good with 2D. Perfectly happy with 2D.
So my biggest question is, or I would love, and again, this is just me being me. I'm going off of absolutely nothing other than just it'd be awesome to see. But like
Conjecture, all conjecture.
a post-credit scene of like
Oh.
Mario meeting up with Link.
Ah, that'd be my dream come true. That would be my dream come true. But I don't think you're
No, I don't
gonna.
think
I
so
don't think
either.
you're ever gonna. I mean, that's just crossing worlds at this
Of
point.
course, of course, of course. So, but yeah,
Unless we do the like you do the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like you know how like you get
yes.
to the Avengers, like you start the teaser right now for Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, 100%. What are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Fast and the Super Mario Kart Furious.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
But
no Mario Kart. I haven't seen a Mario Kart anywhere.
no, I don't see any. I did not see that on the poster.
But again,
So
we'll see what happens.
yeah, exactly. But again, it's a feast for the eyes. Even if you're
Yep.
not dissecting it, it's a great poster. Definitely a great job done by Illumination and Nintendo to get people excited, and it was a great 1-2 punch as well.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sorry, with the direct, they mentioned they're putting the final touches, I guess, on the movie that they actually said in the direct. They're doing, I guess, the color, they're making sure the colors look good, doing all the final touches on it.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to do the score, which I can't. This might be the first soundtrack I buy in a long, long time.
Oh, wow.
If they put one out. But yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the movie, and there's really nothing else I could say about it because, I've already. Thank God this is coming out in 2023 because I already have my 2022 movie of the year. So, this to me already is going to be.
Wait, what's your 2020?
Honestly, for me, Clerks 3.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. This movie, though, is what I've been waiting for. Will I see it multiple times in the theater? I don't know.
We'll see.
We shall see.
Time will tell. I have a feeling this will be one you'll see more than once.
I hope so. If with Illumination, their movies have been dropping quick on Peacock, so
that is true. True.
We'll see. Other than that, the other thing I just wanted to mention, and you actually mentioned it to me. There was like a kind of a secondary trailer.
Yeah, there was a secondary trailer. So, just a Mario super fan, of which there are plenty. A Mario super fan decided to recreate the Mario movie trailer using the Super Mario N64 graphics,
which looked awesome.
Yes. So you got Mario 64 Bowser with the Mario 64 penguins and Koopas. It was just really fun.
And I don't know if you saw. It's like 15 seconds, but it's adorable.
Short. Super short.
And then the other thing I saw, and I don't have it in front of me, so it will be misquoted. But after they drop, I don't know if it was. I think it's after they dropped the trailer link, where it's just a trailer itself, not the direct. Xbox tweeted, "As long as nobody throws a penguin off the side of a hill." Yes. Xbox tweeted that.
Yeah. And then I think I saw today that Sonic tweeted about the Mario movie. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. Oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah. So he tweeted,
well, they've been taking pot shots at it since the first movie.
Yeah, no, they've been taking pot shots, but so the Sonic movie Twitter account tweeted about the Buttgate controversy about Mario's butt. So they said, I have it up here now because they posted it a couple days ago. So he's like, controversial lower body design, can't relate.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
no, honestly, I mean, like I said, we're here. This is it. A lot of these video game movies we got back in the day were like, oh, it's just like a movie. You know what I mean? They just slapped the title on it. Yeah. Now we're getting proper video game movies, and look, animation's still the way to go. So
yeah, nope, I agree, 100%.
So bottom line,
100%.
And that's basically really about it. I don't know if there's anything else that you know about it, or like anything else you saw on the internet, I should say.
No.
As far as like anything like in the trailer that we missed.
No.
Okay.
I don't. Nothing else, or I should say, nothing really worth mentioning. As usual, the internet is dissecting the hell out of it.
Internet's internet. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and they're gonna be people who are giving it high praise, and there are gonna be people who are ripping it apart. So, my response to that is, we've only seen 90 seconds.
We haven't. We've only heard 2 words.
Yeah, we've only got 90 seconds, not 90 minutes.
Well, I can't wait for the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So let us No, we want to hear from you. Did you enjoy the trailer? Did you not enjoy the trailer? I know a couple people kind of already chimed in saying that it was, again, it all goes back. The biggest issue is apparently the voice, Mario's voice. And again, it wasn't even a bad issue. Just some people like, I'm just not used to it. Maybe that's the case. You're just not used to it.
Yep.
Yes, like I said, I'll take Captain Lou over Chris Pratt, but Captain Lou's dead. So with that being said, chime in on our social media, email us as far as how much, because I'm just assuming if you're listening to a podcast about retro video gaming, you are totally excited about this movie.
Yep.
And where can they chime in?
You guys can chime in at facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
And with that, we're going to wrap this special edition up.
Yep.
Right? Good to go, Ant. We're going to go watch the trailer one more time.
We're good. Yep, you go watch the trailer one more time. I think I've seen it enough.
All right, folks. We'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.